Right, so that's the trick. Okay, I want them just like that. And we'll see how this works, if this can be done. So what's happening is that we are shooting at them, as you can see, and they are not shooting at us. Okay, they start to shoot at us. Oh, we are running out of ammunition very quickly here. They are not losing nearly as many soldiers as we do. So let's see how this works. Just maybe there's no way for us to win this. Yeah, it looks like some of the soldiers already retreated. And it could be that we just can't do anything about this. Alright. Oh well, right? Okay, you just attack. Let's see if that helps. No, it doesn't. So the townsfolk are not going to fight effectively against them. Unfortunately. No other way. Okay, that's the exact same situation. They have line infantry. Line infantry are going to deal with us. With the relative ease, more of them, the same situation, just different numbers. I don't think that we can do much about it, and that army they are stationed will have to do all the hard work and will have to fight through this. The Russians, on the other hand, are moving towards St. Petersburg. At the same time, they are going to launch this attack. Okay. And I think that's not bad, but I'm still going to retreat close to St. Petersburg or Petrovskaya in this case. I think he retreated to the wrong side, but what the hell, nothing else to do anyway, if they can't do it. And this will make the Russians to go back towards Moscow. I think that left us Moscow open, but I'm not entirely sure. It could be that this gave us an opportunity to attack Moscow itself. So we ended up with a few armies destroyed. Species Plantarum. The eminent Swedish naturalist Carl Linné, known as Linnaeus, has ensured prominent place for himself as the father of modern taxonomy. With the publication of his latest work, Species Plantarum, this mighty 2-volume work lists every known plant, classifying them according to class, order, genera, and species, using Linnaeus' own unique system developed initially in his Systema Naturae. His simple system counts the pistils and stamens of every plant to group them into genera, enabling easy identification. Formal names are assigned to each plant, along with shorter epithets for ease of reference. Running to over 1,200 pages, Species Plantarum is already a monumental work. Yet Linnaeus intends to continually update and expand it as new specimens arrive from his many correspondents around the world. Matters would appear to be as the man himself has recently been heard to say, Deus cravit Linnaeus disposut, or God created Linnaeus organized. Okay. It looks like a few armies have been destroyed here and there. The Ottoman Empire has launched a very successful offensive against us. Absolutely incredible. Military technology. Finally, the platoon firing is here. Workers right in Cherokee territory. However, we just got them at bay. Hopefully that will continue. Public servant dies. He was previously here. Recruitment, path blocked. Let's take a look at these paths blocked. Okay, so we did lost against the Ottoman. However, this is just a matter of time until we successfully retake these territories. Okay, so we just recruited a new general, Bastien Mirabeau, soldier from birth, +1 command in land battles. He's relatively young, only 37. He's a happy drinker. +1 morale in battles. I find said that the little gin is very calming on the nerves and steadies a man's hand. This man has been left with little to do, and boredom has been his downfall. This man needs orders that keep him occupied. Born cavalryman, +2 command when leading cavalry units. Okay. The Ottomans have successfully taken some of these settlements. Let's get rid of enemy's presence here. This will certainly eat up our resources if that continues, because we still have to rebuild the settlements themselves, which is really bad, no doubts about that. Alright, so the Moscow was not left open, as you can see. It's certainly there. Let's take out the Russians in Finland with this force that previously was not fighting the Russians. Alright. Ready, I think that it could as well move to Arkhangelsk, and this force could as well go and fight the Russians further. In this way, I think that we will outmaneuver the Russian Empire here, and this will move us a little bit closer to the final victory. Okay, that's a nice battle for us, and unfortunately we did not win this decisively, and reinforcements of that force there would be very expensive. Oh yeah, look at that. Let's foolishly ask surrender, politely, not foolishly. In any case, we're going to keep them sieged. Let's not rush this out. Due to the Navy, our income is not nearly where we would wish it to be, but our Navy is at least there and ready. I like the fact that we have a Navy. And where do we go? Let's go to the East Africa Trade Theater, and let's start establishing ourselves there. As you can see, our trade routes are completely taken over due to this blockade. However, this could all be turned around with a successful offensive on the Copenhagen, which is a certain possibility of a success. Swedes are not launching an offensive here, which is very good. This is where I want to be. Now. What else do we have here? We could probably attack this, and that would certainly be a victory for us. So let's start the battle for Moscow. We're just gonna move on to the walls. I think that our numerical superiority in terms of better troops is going to be the thing. I wanted to keep the siege, however, I believe in the victory there. And if we take out Moscow and that army goes to St. Petersburg, it could be that they won't have that much anyway to deal with us. Our navies will hopefully provide us with that trade road that we so much need. And our victory against Denmark will give us a very, very stable Europe. Okay. Well, let's do this. Let's start climbing the walls. As you can see already, they are blasting us quite badly already. I want to attack the walls from as many sides as I can, and hopefully that is going to work out. So I've sent the troops to attack the positions from as many sides as possible. So that's the fort that is representing Moscow. Most of those lines that they currently are defended by the townsfolk. So these armed citizenry, otherwise called. And even if the fort is huge, if it's defended by a relatively insignificant force in terms of their quality, so untrained, young, foolish, kind of cowardly townfolk type nicely dressed force is not going to be much. Okay, we're in here, and at the same time, very successfully, we are climbing on, as you can see here. Everybody's climbing, and they're already shouting Rebata, which pretty much stands for man in a nice way. Yeah, but it looks like we are very, very successful at this. More successful than I thought so, actually. Okay, everybody just needs to fight. As you can see, it started to lag. So that means there's quite a few of us here. Okay, let's make sure these are all dead as fast as possible. They still have troops right here on the ground, in the town center, which isn't that good really. It isn't that good because we are landing on the walls here, so if they could prevent this, they could as well win. If they're going to fight us separately, this is going to be bad. It looks like the lag is even worse than their tactical choices here in this battle. However, that's it. As you can see, I left a few units here and there. That's very surprising for me because I kind of thought I did not left any troops, and I didn't like had in mind leaving any behind. Obviously that's really bad, but it could be that we won't even have to use these troops, and the victory is going to be simply certain for us. We're still fighting the walls. The lag is kind of making things move a lot slower. With the Moscow in our grasp, we could as well increase our income over time. But we're suffering resistance on all sides, from which we are invading them. And at the same time, we are having like a massive push from our enemy here on this flank right there. And that's it. But however, we're mostly being faced by these townfolk who are fine for us to deal with. Here we're having some infantry. They're attacking us with something like six brigades there, and we're moving troops from the walls. We are fighting them, the Russians here at the very front. It looks like the lag is not that big of a deal anymore. It's kind of slowly but surely kind of moving away. The Russians are being killed off too, very successfully. I would like to descend from these walls here with these troops. Okay, and I would like to order them to move down. In here we're having a victory too. It looks like building capture. The gatehouse here is ours. So that means that troops from the other side of the wall can move here. Okay, you all go. Look at that, they're kind of throwing something at us here. It looks like these are archers. It looks like some of the Russians are not that well equipped. Okay. And we're having some good fights over here. However, our numerical superiority is right where we wanted. These arrows are certainly going to make our efforts difficult here for this 69th Regiment of Footline Infantry. But it's certainly going to be supported. Now these troops will go down from the walls and try to move in with the gate. Alright, you down. Okay. What else do we have here happening? I want them all to descend from the walls in this way. I'm sure that the victory is going to be in our grasp, because our new numbers are going to be there. Now this 4th Regiment of Footline Infantry is certainly making things very, very difficult for us here. And our French soldiers need additional support here. It looks like this situation here is quite bad for the French. I would like to support this as much as possible, but first of all we need to kill these Russian soldiers on the wall before we descend. And here we got up their general unit, Horse Guards unit, and we may as well fight more of their cavalry units. Look at that. It looks like that wasn't a general unit, that's just a guard unit, that's it. I want my horsemen to move into this, and so far so good. It looks like we have successfully taken the walls. Damn, some of these soldiers that does not know how to do it. They go around from this side, well they should be going simply from this side. Nothing can be done about this. We'll just have to kind of go through this fight the wrong way. That's it. Okay, you all go here. I want them out there. These infantrymen were unable to stop the cavalry. So as you can see, in some of the situations out there, our infantry is not going to stop their cavalry. Now in here this fight is really bad. However, our numbers are mounting up in here. It looks like they're mounting so well. We're able to finally surround the Russians here. They were fighting us very successfully during the entire battle here. Everybody was descending from the walls, but this wasn't enough. We just couldn't do this the right way. We just couldn't kill them at the rate we're used to do this. However, it looks like even these brave Russians are not going to be enough to fight the surround battle, where they're being surrounded. However, they are carving through quite well though. Look at that, that's so beautiful. And they're charging, and they're charging, and they're charging, and they're charging again, and again, and again. And our troops are just kind of like coming in more and more numerous. Would you believe that the French in Moscow, but this time we're not here to just kind of sack it. They're here to stay. Wow, they're fighting this quite effectively. They are fighting in the shade, right? Half of them are fighting in the shade, the half of them are fighting in the sunlight. They're surrounded, only the last few left. But they're fighting very, very effectively anyway. It's only a matter of time. They can't escape because there's way too many. They have to fight through if they want to. But that's not going to work. Looks like that's all. Oh, I can't believe this. It looks like we're still fighting their cavalry here. A regiment of Entrangers fighting. So this could be the Russians fighting the Russians. If I remember correctly, these are the pretty much French Legion troops. All right, let's move on them further. Now that's another brigade. That the Russians still have. However, this brigade is undoubtedly not going to fight off this sea of French coming in. Look how many. Now that's certainly many. No doubts about that. Okay. All in all, I think that was a very, very intense battle. They even got some really, really good shots on us there. But now, even without the artillery support, they're here. We can send in the general. Yeah, that's all. That's all there's left. One brigade still defending, but it looks like even they are on the retreat now. Yeah, that's all. It's a heroic victory for us, and the entire Moscow and surrounding lands are for us too. Absolutely incredible. Done. Region captured Muscovy. Let's fix this up first. Obviously that's super expensive. We can't even do this in one turn, and that is going to give us 2000 a turn, which will pay for itself eventually. Okay. This general with its force will move to Arkhangelsk. And I would say that was a great success. We have 3 spy cells placed there for a short time. And it's time to move our spy cells forward so that we could take a look at the forward settlements there. The army in Denmark is waiting for reinforcements and attack order. Genoa does have a force in Turin, Savoy, and a force in one of our towns. We're going to flesh this force out.
La vertu et la valeur invaincue.
Done. And with this army, we are going to move on and try and make a siege on Turin. Venice has proved to be in the past very aggressive, very powerful. There are settlements that need fixing, as you can see, but we need obviously money for that. In here we have 99.6,
Votre Majesté.
which is fine. We can start moving the priest. In 2 turns this force of theirs will move out. However, it's quite insignificant force though. We could as well easily take over them, but actually there is no need to rush this anyway. A battle certainly wouldn't hurt.